This is probably one of the most important videos you're ever gonna watch if you actually are facing problems and don't know how to overcome them, all right? It's an interview with one of my students who had a huge loss because of just a calculation mistake. He basically lost almost his entire budget on just a stupid little mistake, all right? And then he managed to actually bounce back, and right now he's currently making $15,000 profit per month, okay? So because I want to be as transparent as possible on this channel, I actually brought him on, and I want to show which problems can actually occur in the dropshipping field, and also I want to show the dark sides of dropshipping, because not everything is as beautiful and amazing as it sounds sometimes on YouTube. There are a lot of huge issues you're going to face when you actually pursue dropshipping as like a proper thing, and trust me, you will learn a lot. All right, so watch the whole thing and let's just jump into it. Okay, then yeah, let's get started. Welcome, Vivan. Basically, we've been working together for how long?
Since February.
Yeah, so a while now, over half a year. And yeah, with you, yeah, it was a crazy up and down. You have one of the best comeback stories probably from all the other students.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can introduce yourself, tell what your story is, how everything went.
Sure, yeah. So I started with Michael in February 2021. And I was always interested in dropshipping since the pandemic started, but tried one or two stores, but never really made success in it. Like the maximum amount of sales that I made was $200 in a month. So that was the maximum I could go to. And then I just stumbled upon your group. So I joined you in February. Since then, February, and it's October, right? Or November right now. And it's been like a crazy journey. I have had 3 winning products. One of them, and I tested 5. And one of them went pretty well, but it was a crazy journey because I was not doing profit tracking properly, and on the top surface it felt like I'm making a lot of money, but it really was, I was in loss, like huge loss, which we'll talk about probably later. So yeah, and then finally I made a comeback in July. I took a break, 10-15 days, got everything sorted, and came back in August, and yeah, it's pretty well. It's been going well after that.
Yeah. And yeah, how is it doing now? Maybe you can quickly screen share and show the revenue,
yeah, sure.
profits, ad spend.
So let me show you this particular product. I really started it in October, and yeah, 45,983. And if I share the ad spend at the same time, it's around 13,865. So I have a pretty good ROAS.
Yeah, and it's really strong. And how much of that is profit approximately?
So my profit is around I'll say 29%.
Nice.
So for the month
maybe actually
of
you can
October,
quickly maybe you can also quickly screen share that.
The profit sheet.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is October, and 33% actually, my bad, and $15,253 I made profit in the month of October.
Nice. Okay, yeah, that's
3.32 ROAS.
Extremely good, especially considering that this was that the first month where this product was working, or did it work before?
Yeah, I started in the last week of September. And I think around 25th or 26th, and in first 1 or 2 days it showed pretty good result, and in a week I scaled it a lot. Like you see here, 143 to 54, and then suddenly, like the kind of ROAS it showed me 5, 4, and I kept scaling it and brought it to a pretty stable level.
Yeah. And on the right side, the green things that's basically the profits per day. So you can see here, like, constantly, if you scroll down a little bit, constantly it was making like at least around 400, I would say, is the average.
Around 400.
Yeah, pretty strong. And I'm really happy with this, especially seeing what happened before because Yeah, maybe you can stop the screen share and tell us a little bit more about that, specifically how everything happened and what the whole process was when nothing was working, but it seemed like everything is working.
Yeah, so sure. So I'll start with the first product that I tested. It was in the pet niche, and I tested two products. One of them was basically the product that showed me that dropshipping really works because I was getting sales on it and everything. But the reason I stopped it is because I was getting lots of customer complaints that it is not a right product, and I never wanted to run a product that's not of good quality. So I stopped that one. Then I stumbled upon a product that was a previous past winner. It had like lots of sales in 2018, I'll say 2017, 2018 it was ran. And through AdSpy, I found that product. It was like really saturated. Everybody said that it was saturated. But what I did was I changed the angle a little bit. It was marketed to a certain group of people, but I then changed it a little bit and made it kind of a product that is required, that is kind of a problem solving product just by changing the angle. And it showed me pretty good results. So then I basically finalized my niche that, okay, this is the niche that I would really want to go in. And though that product did not ran for long, it really ran for just a month because it was a pretty saturated product. So after a month or two, I stopped it. The profit margins dropped really, but at the same time, I found this another product which was the one that was working pretty well, but in the background it was going on a lot. So same thing with that, that it was a product that could be used as a toy basically by children, but I changed the angle in it a bit and everything and made it like a product that would solve a problem and not be just a toy. So yeah, and went like crazy. It had lots of sales. Everything was running good. Like whatever I throw into it, whatever interest, no interest, whatever, anything I threw into it on Facebook, it was running well. And any ads, even the bad ads on it was running well. And so I just started scaling it like crazy, like from 500 to 1000 to like 2000 and 3000. So I think that level I reached like 2 or 3000 a day. And I just kept it running. And at the same time, there were like a lot of changes happening with Facebook, like the iOS 14 was coming in. And so everybody was a bit worried that what is going to happen. So I just downloaded this app, Multipixel app, which basically what it does, it copies the data from one pixel to your backup pixel, because I thought that now I'm running at such a high level, it might be possible that I can get banned. So let me just prepare for like for a scenario where I get banned. So I have 2 pixels. And the mistake I did over there was this: I came to figure it out after probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks. The mistake I did was I had set it up wrong. So it was basically tracking two things on the same pixel. So like multi-pixel, from the same pixel, it was tracking two events in the same one. So, and I never realized it. And I believe around that time, I also went on holidays. I just thought that, oh, now I'm running the store at $2,000, $3,000.
So wait, just to clarify here, basically what that means is every single sale which was tracked was double tracked. So
It was double tracked, yeah.
if you see a $5 per purchase, it like basically it showed every single sale which was tracked on Facebook, it showed as 2 sales. So in reality, you had, like, for example, you had a $10 per purchase, but it was showing as a $5 per purchase.
5, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So, and I had my break even and everything. I was like, my break even is 11 and I'm getting 5 CPP. So it's pretty good. And around that time, I just was like, oh, I'm doing at $2,000-3,000 per day. So, and my friends called me for a vacation, and I just went on a vacation to New York City. And for a week, I did not really did profit tracking. And another problem going around that time was my supplier. She was pretty slow at sending profit sheets. So how she worked is on Skype. She used to send me, she did not have any app. So she used to send me for 2 or 3 days, like the products, like how much do they cost and blah, 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 and all that. But what happened that she was backlogged because she received so many orders from me that she did not send me the cost sheet for 2 weeks. And I did not do profit tracking myself because I was like, oh, the CPP are showing pretty good result. It's at 5 and my CPP is 11. Break even is $11. So everything is well. Like when she'll give me the cost sheet, I'll just pay her and be done with it. So then the cost sheets come, and I had a VA at that time, and I told him that, oh, we have 3 weeks of cost sheet. So just tell me how much the profit is. And I was pretty excited that he'll come with me of like a $10,000 profit or something like that. And I
Yeah.
was like so excited that when I'll receive it, it would be good. And then as soon as he shows me, it was like within 3 days, I had lost $4,700. In like 4th, 5th, 6th July, I remember I had lost $4,700. And the whole loss from that whole 2-3 weeks was around 8,000 or $9,000.
And that
So
was before making like proper profits with dropshipping. That was kind of like it was
yeah.
not that you had like a really strong backup already from a past product.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the first ones.
No.
And you basically, yeah, I remember when you came to me and you told me like, okay, everything is fine. And we had a call
Yeah.
and like I looked at the things and I saw,
Mm-hmm.
okay, wait, you tell me that everything looks good on paper,
Yeah.
but you're not profitable at all. And I was like
Not
skeptical and
profit.
I
Yeah.
checked it out.
Yeah.
And I immediately saw that there was a logical mistake off the bat. You had like a $5 per purchase,
Mm-hmm.
which would equate like you had like a $20 average order value or so. And
Yeah.
that if you
20.
have a $5 per purchase and a $20 average order value, that's a 4 ROAS immediately, $5
Yeah.
to 20. But in total, you didn't even have like a 2 ROAS. So if you were spending,
No.
if you were spending like 1K per day on ads, you were making 1.6, 1.5, something like that. I forgot exactly, but
Yeah.
it was really, really low. And then immediately I saw, wait, there's something wrong. I checked
Mm-hmm.
out everything for glitches and I said, okay, wait, that's the issue.
Yeah.
It's double tracking on Facebook. And we figured out that
Yeah.
in like a couple of minutes because
Mm-hmm.
the logical thing was to look at it properly.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was, I couldn't believe it because that was the first time I saw something like this, was like where a simple little glitch just fucked up everything. And
Yeah.
9,000 were lost in a matter of a couple of weeks, which does hurt a lot,
It does.
especially
Yeah.
for a person who doesn't make good money with dropshipping yet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And here also, the really, really big takeaway is the profit tracking. And I always preach that profit tracking is so important. If you start making money with dropshipping, it's crucial to understand your numbers constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I also fucked up a lot in the beginning with not doing proper profit tracking. I lost so much money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I lost because I was not properly tracking my numbers. And I
Yeah.
was talking about this on other videos, but like I lost insane amounts of money. I remember I was also running unprofitably on campaigns which spent like 50 to 80K on one campaign. And it was really unprofitable because I didn't even know my break-even points. Their tracking was right,
Yeah.
but I didn't know my break-even points properly because I was calculating weird.
Yeah.
And yeah, also here, I just want to like be completely transparent and also show that there are parts in dropshipping which are pretty dark and where like things like
Mm-hmm.
what happened to you can happen to everybody. And I'm also
Yeah.
not going to pretend like if you're in my program, nothing like that will happen because you saw like you had 2 weeks of no calls,
Yeah.
for example, or no, we didn't even
Mm-hmm.
like really communicate there, and you just thought
Yeah.
everything is going well, and
Mm-hmm.
everything crashed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I also don't like. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube just like showing only the good parts. It's also here that
Yeah.
there are really tough points in dropshipping, and I'm not going to hide that because it's reality, and a lot of people struggle a lot before they make it work. But with you, I'm really happy that you actually kept pushing through, and now
Yeah.
you see the reward, and now like all the profits are back from like in a couple of weeks. You made everything back for what you lost and make way more than
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That I think not just when you're making money, I think now what my lesson learned is, if you're doing a business, do profit, loss, whatever tracking, just track your numbers, because you need to know how much money you have lost and or how much
Yeah.
money you are making.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember when we were seeing the ads manager, it had like for one day it had like 50 sales or something, and then we went to Shopify, it had just 20, 25. And that's when I realized that, oh shit, what did I do? And like a stupid illogical mistake, basically, I could have just like been up to the point or just used logic, and it wasn't even like rocket science. It was like
Yeah.
basic logic,
Yeah.
not even maths or something, basic logic. And yeah, I did that, but lesson learned.
Yes, yes, and that's really good. And also the other lesson is, if you're unsure about anything, just let a person look over it who already has the experience. And like
Hmm.
for me, it was literally a second to realize what's going on.
Yeah.
It was like in a matter of a couple of minutes, we saw exactly what happened. But it was not obvious to the naked eye if you never had this experience, you know. And also because I had like tons of issues with exactly those like profit loss things, I see them immediately. So
Yeah.
yeah, the other takeaway is also to not be too confident in anything which is happening and thinking, all right, I'm profitable anyways, doesn't really matter, that it's going to work out somehow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Not go on trips until you have made profit and have the
Yes,
money in your bank account.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
um but yeah, for you maybe, but in general, like tell about the key learnings you had throughout the whole mentoring and in
mhm.
general over doing dropshipping as well.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that I learned is drop shipping. The only way you can make it big in here or even make it successful, if you first of all keep testing, keep trying, and like learn from others' mistakes. So
Yeah,
had I tested more products at that time and not just dependent on one product, it would have been like the other product would have been profitable, and it would have
mm-hmm.
been a break-even situation, and I had not lost money. So,
Yeah,
but I became comfortable around that having one product and kept it running. So that was one thing that I learned, that never be too comfortable and never stop testing.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, and be persistent. That's what I did. Like after I had lost so much money, I took a break 10, 15 days, but I never stopped. I was always trying to figure out how I can get this money back and start again. And I remember I stopped for I think a month, and in the background I was running the same product, and slowly at a very slow scale, and I just made $1,000. And then I got back, and within a week of testing, because I had so much products, I did product research for the whole 6 months, that I had lots of products in the backlog, but I never tested them. So from the same sheet, I found a few products and tested tested one. Yeah, I just tested one of them, because I remember I talked to you and you were like, this product looks really nice. And I tested the first one, and it just became an instant winner. So yeah,
yeah.
uh, that was it. And whatever I had
Yes,
lost, I recovered.
and it can go really quick, and you have to understand, for everybody watching right now, you really have to understand that all the losses you make through dropshipping are only losses if you stop. If you keep going,
Yeah.
they're recovered pretty quickly. The same thing if you,
Hmm.
it's exactly the same as like investing something in crypto, and it's so going up and down and up and down, and you just put everything out on a down point. And that's what most people do. You test
Yeah.
on dropshipping, it doesn't work, you sell on a down point, you stop. Instead of just
Hmm.
keeping going until you're up. And obviously it's not
Yeah.
that volatile with dropshipping like crypto, and it doesn't go like that up and down, but like it's the metaphor is pretty clear. And yeah, for you did a pretty good job, it's especially with that. um
Yeah.
what were kind of the main problems you were facing throughout the whole journey? What would you say?
Um, I'll say, touch wood, I was fortunate enough to not face a lot of problems that people face, like payment issues or something like that, blah blah, not working, Facebook getting banned or everything. The reason I'll say is I was very proactive with everything. Like my customer support was on to the point. Every day I used to check emails, and if anything is not working, if even the customer is like not a little bit happy, just give them a new product or refund them. And I think that is what has really helped me. My Facebook feedback score is pretty good for at like it's at 4 right now, and I never faced any bans. And even when I faced like few of my ads, if they were rejected, I immediately corrected it and made sure that I'm delivering high quality ads as well, so that Facebook does not bans me or something like that. So I'll say I was very proactive with that, and that is something that really helped me, because since for us Facebook is a big platform to market, but if you get banned at that, especially for a free shipping product, there's no way you can go and market it anywhere else. So because TikTok does not allow it, so you have to be very proactive with this thing. Like there's no other option.
Yes, and I've seen also like you're doing good with that, especially right now. You're obviously also doing the warehouse thing. So in the next couple of weeks, you're also going to have only like 2-day shipping. Because like we set you up with the guys who are doing really good numbers, so also in the program. And here they basically have a warehouse, which has like 2-day shipping. And to only have just have that contact, to have those super quick delivery time is also going to improve everything a lot, especially if you do the packaging right and you have like repeat customers with proper discounts, etc. So currently, what would you say, how many hours per day do you actually work? How do you like set up, and also what do you do in those hours?
So now I have 2 VAs under me. I have 2 employees under me back in India. So a lot of my time really goes on managing them. So I'll say in a day, I will work around 3 or 4 hours, between 3 or 4 hours. And for that, like an hour or 2 would be talking to them, meeting them, and telling them what work they should be doing for the next 3 or 4 days. And since, as you already said, that I'm setting up the warehouse thing, so that's also a lot of coordination with the supplier and other people trying to find out the products and everything, and how long will it take to get shipped to the US warehouse. But I'll say majority of my time, 50 to 60% of my time, I spent in my Facebook ads manager. Is because now what I do, earlier what I used to do is I used to just look at the ads manager and be like, okay, this is not working, blah blah blah, kill it. But now I have literally maintained a ledger, and I can show it to you if you would want.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, and here is basically the kind of ledger that I maintain every single day. What I figure out, what I do with my ads, which ones I kill, what is working, what is not working, like every single detail I maintain. Like if I duplicate it, if is duplication working or not, because I have seen in some ad sets, duplicating an ad set kills the previous one and gives good results on the other one. But in some of ad sets, it does not happen. So right now I have like both cases, because I run ads via 2 ad sets, that one of them duplication works, one of them duplication does not work, and one of them CPO works, one of them ABO does not work. So literally I have everything over here and I maintain it, and it has helped me so much because I figure out what to do, what not to do, and what literally works. So this is something that really helped me with Facebook ads, because earlier I was like, oh, what am I doing? Like in 2 or 3 days, because if you're managing so many campaigns, you tend to forget what really worked or what really did not work. So this is my way of basically managing the whole ads managers.
Yes, and also I'm really happy to see that you really now understand that you have to see everything in the business, what's going on. And that's kind of what you also learned through this kind of fuck up in the beginning. You have to see exactly what's working, what's not working, what's been happening. And also one really important thing I always like say is you need to understand what you did that something changed. For example, if I take an action in the business, if I do anything, I always write it down and put it into like the specific date where I did it. So I know that, all right, if something goes down, then I can track back. I changed the price here. I changed this on the product page. I did this new campaign, I did this. And it's much easier than to really understand when and what happened than if you just kind of tap in the dark and randomly think back maybe what you could have done. So yeah, like it's really important to have an overview over every single like part of the business.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for you, I've also seen that you improved the average order value quite a bit. And you kind of like everything went up. Maybe you can also tell about that, what you did and which tips helped you.
Sure. So yeah, when I started this product, the current winning product I had, my average order value was around 19 or 20. So I experimented a lot this time. I experimented a lot of things with upsells, because if you're running a free plus shipping product, you want to, that's the only strategy. If you have an average order value, that's basically that you're not running a free plus shipping product and it goes into the higher ticket category. So what basically I did is I tried a $20 upsell, which is pretty high for upsell. So my product is, for example, $12.95 if somebody buys it. So I said that I'll give you 4 of this for like $20. And that just worked so well that in like a week, I was making around $2,000-3,000 just via upsells.
And that's almost all profit.
Yeah, and that's all free money. And that's basically, it covered all of my cost for ads and everything. So that just shot up I can show it to you how it really changed. So this was it when I was running things normally. I had an 8% profit margin at 1.77 ROAS, same 22. The third, that is when I really introduced the upsell. So if you see that in $196 spent, I had like $1,000, like 5 ROAS. And that is the thing that really changed everything. Like my profit margins were like jumped so much from like 22% to like so much. So and my average order value also kept going up, like 23, all that. And like at a stable level, it's around 25 or something like that. So
yeah, nice.
That is the thing that really like changed that stuff. So
yeah, and that's also one crucial thing, like to split test as much as possible. And there's always like one thing which can blow up everything. It's either like a new ad, a new price, a new upsell, new product, whatever it is. There's always those little things which change everything immediately, and you don't get to them without testing a lot. And you like everybody needs to understand this. Like the first try you test an upsell, very high chance that it's not going to work. First try that you don't test the product, very high chance that it's not going to work. First try you test an ad, very high chance it's not going to work. Like all those things, it's normal that some things don't work. But if you had that one thing which changes everything, it just has to be one. Like it has to be only a good ad or only a good product or only a good like upsell thing if everything else is already in place, it can change everything. And there's always like one bottleneck, which if that bottleneck is going to be like gone, everything shoots up immediately. And for you, the bottleneck, without for you even kind of knowing, was the average order value. Like if you like that was the main thing which was stopping you from getting from 20% to 40% or 30% profit. And those bottlenecks are important to identify, and also like you just have to be open for them, because a lot of the times, like in the beginning when I started out, I wasn't doing any upselling, and it was super stupid of me. And I lost so much money also in the very beginning of the dropshipping career by just not doing upsells properly. And at some point I got told that you can, if you do an upsell, this can happen. You can just add extra couple of dollars in pure profit per every single order. And I did it, and it worked. And that kind of immediately opened my eyes. And then I understood, okay, this works. Now I have to test a bunch of things more on this upsell thing, until I understood it really well. And now we have like a bunch of different options
what can work for what product and what you have to split test. And one of the things was this like bundle package deal, which worked so well for you.
So yeah, I also changed one more thing by I think the past 7 or 8 days. I introduced bundles. That was also something that was never done in free plus shipping, that a free product with a non-free product. And so that has like shot up my average order value to 28 right now. So that's also something that is really in the past week. I have just done it for 10 days or so. But that's so all I had aimed basically is to keep taking my average order value up, and it makes a huge difference.
Massive. Yes, and that's the exact reason why for you spend 13K and make like 45K. It's not possible without a proper average order value, without adjusting it a lot. It's just it's not doable. And this is also like a very good example for low ticket working really well. I've had a couple of videos on the channel already, and I've also had like a bunch of messages where people say, all right, why is this low ticket thing working for you guys? Like, is this real? But in reality, it does work really well. And for you, what's also very special about your product is that it's not one of those typical products. It's not saturated at all on Facebook. It's very new. And it's kind of not a copied product from a competitor. It was just a product in your niche, which you already worked with. And you sent me the list of products, and I saw it, and I thought it's a really cool product. And normally I recommend to have a product with proven concept. But in your case, because I saw like, at this point, I do have an eye for the product, and I saw this product, and I thought, okay, that's, even though it doesn't have the proper proven concept, it's a good product. And it was for sure by far the best one on your list. And you also start to have that eye because you put it into the list. And now it's also that this eye for good product is super helpful.
This product, like it was sold nowhere. Like there was not even a single ad run on Facebook for it. I found it via TikTok, and it was just like somebody was just posting it that they had bought it from some store, and they were not even selling it. And I was just like, this looks like a cool product. So that's also something new, that this product that I'm selling had no proven concept. People usually go for like, it has to be proven concept, blah blah blah, all that, but like this one was a completely new thing.
And also one question here is, what would you say, how did your life kind of change in the last month? Do you have any specific changes in your life, and what happened there?
Specific changes, I think after my experiences, I have kind of learned that do not get too comfortable early. So right now I'm not changing anything. I'm like, I'll keep doing this drop shipping for the next 4 or 5 months, and then make a decision on what to do. But now the thing that really changed is the confidence that I have that I can also run a business. Because a year ago I was like, oh, I can never run a business, I'm just meant for a job or something like that. But doing this, it gives me the confidence, and it just makes you feel proud. Like I have not made any physical changes in my life yet, because of obvious reasons that I don't want to get too comfortable too early. I want to have some security before I make, but it gives you a good feeling. I think that is the biggest thing. It gives you security that, you don't have to work for someone else to make money. You can do this. And I have literally done it thrice, even though the first 2 times it was a failure. The third time I made it work. So I'm like, if I can do it thrice, why can't I do it in the future? I just need to learn from my mistakes. So hopefully the next time we talk, I would be traveling somewhere and working remotely on my business with the team set up. But
I mean, you did get burned pretty bad, so it's good that you for now chill out and first do things properly, and then you can start to like do other stuff as well.
Definitely.
And maybe like one last question here. What would be the main advice you would give to a beginner who's just starting out in dropshipping?
The main advice I'll say is take guidance from someone who knows what they're doing, is because first of all, it will save you years, literally years, not even months, years. Because had I not been under your mentorship, I never would have known really does exist. It's because on YouTube you can search for hours, but you cannot find information that you'll find from getting mentorship or guidance from a person that really helps. So that is the biggest thing that I'll say is to a beginner. And the other advice would be keep trying. Like, it won't work for the first month until you're like super lucky, but eventually if you keep trying and if you keep going, it is going to work. So like, don't lose hope and just keep trying. I think that's the biggest thing that I'll say to a big.
Yes, amazing. So on that note, if you already mentioned that, basically you guys can click the link below this video and sign up for a free consultation session with me personally. We're gonna have a call, find out if everything is gonna fit, and if yes, we're gonna actually start working together in the long run. And yeah, if no hard feelings. So click the link below.
Do it, guys.
See you there. Yes. And yeah, thank you, Vivan, for being here.
Thank you, Michael, for everything.
So yeah, hopefully see you in a couple of months in the next interview, and we can talk about the next level.
Next levels. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right.